Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Today is Friday, December the 19th of the beautiful year 2025. Not so many days left in this year. In less than 2 weeks, we start the beautiful year 2026. But as we are still in the year 25, we have a tournament to play, and this is our last event of the year, the PDM December 2025 Tier 1 tournament. And today we are going to play the first of our semi-final matches, the Battle of the Two Americas. North America, represented by AVGEEK from the USA, and South America, represented by ELIAS from Ecuador. Seed 2 against seed number 3 for the spot in the final of this event. So let's take a look at the bracket and let's see what happened so far. Luckily, we were able to catch up with the upper part of the bracket. Two other semi-finalists in this part of the bracket are known as well. Seed number 1 Robin and seed number 4 Shuichi. These two players will play their semi-final tomorrow at 12 UTC. But today, AVGEEK, who is yet to lose a game, won 5-0 against Zohasadar in round 1, then got a bye in the quarterfinals. So AVGEEK without loss of a single game in this tournament so far. On the other hand, Elias played against two Polish players, won 5-2 against Świdr in round 1, and then 5-1, a very decisive win over Rurchak. Very good play by Elias in this match. And today this will be a very interesting match from one other reason. There is a theoretical chance for the winner of this match, also a practical, I should say, because it's not a science fiction scenario. AVGEEK and Elias, both players currently world number 4 and 5 in the ELO ratings, 1788 and 1786. A win around 5-3, 5-3 or more, should be enough for the player winning the match to cross the 1800 ELO. So the win in this match will not only give a player a chance to play in the final, but also the player can get 1800 for the very first, the winner for the very first time. Neither of the player has had this rating before, so this will be the very first time. In case of a 5-4 win, there will be no 1800, but a match in the final and another shot. Of course, I say it considering there will be no comp PB increase. My calculations are based only on the match result. Of course, comp PB increase should help to get this 1800 even more. But we will come back to that in a second. I will remind you about the tournament rules. First, we play level 18 starts only, no line cap, SPS controller and handcam are mandatory for this event. And we play best of 9, so the first to win 5 games wins the match and proceeds to the next round. This is the last chance to get some points for the PAL cycle. You can see the base points, you can see the average rating of the top 16 players divided by 1000, 1.635, which is our tournament strength factor, and the base points multiplied, the base points multiplied by the tournament strength factor. They give us the final outcome of the points. So the players today are guaranteed 163.5. The finalist gets 327 and the winner 817. This is important for Elias. And by the way, hello Elias, hello AVGEEK, welcome in the chat. I will finish my introduction and we will then proceed to your match. This is important, just maybe not that much important in terms of who qualifies, but by which method, so to speak, as we have currently James third in the PDM standings for the players who are not qualified via the major events. Of course, AVGEEK is qualified, so AVGEEK, yeah, for the points for AVGEEK are not that much important. ELIAS, as you can see, they're top in the ELO standings, so ELIAS is also safe to qualify. But if ELIAS could win this tournament, ELIAS, of course, might get the qualifications with via PDM standings, drops down James, but James, yeah, has enough elo to be in this top 4, so this will be only a swap in this spot. But you know, always getting a good game, good match, and winning is also a good factor. And our players, the heroes of the hour, 1788, 1786. I showed it to you, and this is around 50-50 in terms of elo odds. Compy, this is interesting factor. AVGEEK yet to score 700k in a match. ELIAS already 714. The current Compy at ELIAS is a player who gets who has scored 700k 2 times in the PAL-DAS matches. Highest score in this event, pretty close, 653 for AVGEEK, 659 for ELIAS. And yeah, as mentioned, AVGEEK get to lose a game, so no stats in losing scores and losing lines. AVGEEK maybe will lose some games today, who knows, or another sweep, let's find out. Hello Chen, welcome in the chat. And ELIAS, as you can see, dropped 3 games. There were not full games, so some early top outs, but you know, the stakes are higher. What's worth mention that ELIAS got a pretty nice long game of 257 lines, level 31 in the previous match against Rurchak. Showed a very good skill playing post transition, and I hope I'm not putting too much pressure on the shoulders of our players. This is the first thing, and the other thing, I hope that the players can go for some crazy 19 battles and we can see some high level match today. So the schedule time is on our clocks, so let me bring our players to our scene. And as always, AVGEEK and ELIAS. This is layer last. Yes, ELIAS, it happened. Merke has also multiplied 800k in comp, so it's rare, but there are players who did it. But not so many. I would need to check it. Players like Adam MTS or Mark in the old times. They also got those 700k and 800ks in matches. Gyogi as well. So yeah, there were some scores like this happening. But for a player like you, pretty new to this scene, only 10 matches played and already 2 700ks on your board. This is kind of a good achievement, good start, and yes, seeing how you can play level 19, I think it's not your limit. Okay, so our players are live, so let me bring them to the screen. And yeah, this is your last chance to for one of you, the second to last chance to decide if you wanna go for the increment or reroll. In the PAL-DAS Cup, we will play increment. Reroll only. So yeah, if you wanna play increment, this is one of your last chances to do so. So please let me know in the chat, and hello Sleepy Mary, welcome in the chat as well. I give the players some pieces maybe for game number 1. And the seat will be e7, 21, 51, e7, 21, 51. This will be the seat for game number 1 of this match. No, it's not. ELIAS played in the recent PAL-DAS League. This was a tournament held over 2 months in October and November. ELIAS lost in a dramatic match in the preliminaries to Robin, the match for the spot in Division 1. Had to play in Division 2, won their all matches, and now, he's seeded number 3 for this event and is facing worryingly good. Yeah. So, let's see. Let's see. You know, being good is one thing, but being able to deliver it when it matters, it's the other thing. You know, the pressure is the other factor. I don't know if you can train. Of course, the experience helps, but Elias played a lot of tough matches in the wrong version, so our South American player definitely knows how to play under pressure. So let's see who is going to win this semifinal match between AVGEEK and Elias. Both players are ready, so game number 1 starts in 3, 2, 1. Tetris, and good luck. Have fun, guys, as well. E7, 2, 1, 5, 1. E7, 2, 1, 5, 1. Yeah, the seats are correct. And for those of you who are not, maybe not our, regular viewers, this is the PAL version of Tetris. It's slightly different than NTSC. The main difference is that the highest speed is level 19. So once we transition to level 19, there will be no more speed increase. And the other factor is that this highest speed is playable with DAS because... okay, let me check what is AVGEEK doing. Oh, those S's and Z's are not that friendly pieces. We'll come back to that in a second, but let's find out. Something to the... Oh, and AVGEEK starts with an early top out. What an unfortunate start of the match. 77,140 points. This means Elias is good. Elias takes game number 1 and leads 1-0. As Marx would say, warm-up is done, right? .34 lines, 129, 200. Yeah, so an early top out already in game number 1, and the first game lost by AVGEEK in this tournament. Okay, you have not decided. Okay, if you are good with increment, then it's all fine. This is like the last tournament you can choose. In PAL-DAS Cup, we have only a reroll, so feel free to enjoy your incrementing. Okay, so the players are ready for game number 2. And the game starts in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. If 80 to 150, yeah, the seats are correct and the same. So let's see how the players approach game number 2, and maybe I will have a chance to finish what I started. So for those of you who are not that familiar with PAL-DAS, level 19 is the final speed, so only one speed increase in the matches. And yeah, the DAS in PAL is faster than in NTSC, so it makes the level 19 speeds playable. Of course, it's not easy, but if you can master PAL 19, amazing things can happen. And we also encourage the players here in this tournament to Mullen all level 19 games, so they're free to play forever. There is no line cap in this event, so they can basically play forever if possible. And yeah, let's see if level 19 will be a factor. We had some dramatic chase downs happening before, especially by Merke, who is very well known for the level 19 skills. In one of the PAL-DAS League matches, Merke was able to reduce 200k deficit going into 19. And hello Jedi Ivan, welcome in the chat. $175 for AVGEEK, $196 for ELIAS, so ELIAS started with about 1 Tetris of an advantage. And now players were forced to scheme few lines. It was a small drought, but both handled it very well. And both players over 200k, ELIAS still about 1 Tetris ahead. And simul Tetris. $250 for AVGEEK, $256 for ELIAS, so we are now almost neck and neck. AVGEEK needs to be careful not to build the high middle, the tower in the middle of the stack. Especially if you build this tower with S's or Z pieces. We tend to call it here in this channel a Finnish tower, because the Finnish players like Yanni, who are not willing to burn, they tend to build those high towers. And yeah, these are the so-called Finnish towers. Okay, so we have 331 for AVGEEK, 332 for ELIAS, but ELIAS now needs to take care of this board. And he's doing a pretty good job, but some of the pieces are not that friendly for ELIAS, and more burning is needed. 355 for AVGEEK, 341 for ELIAS. AVGEEK increases to 378, and ELIAS still in a mid-stack situation. Needs to bring the board down. And ELIAS finally opens the well. Now AVGEEK with a little bit of a problematic board. This shouldn't be that big of a deal. AVGEEK knows how to handle those kind of situations. 394 for AVGEEK and 379 for ELIAS, and we are approaching transition, guys, in about 10 lines, so be aware of your board states. Transition is coming. There is not a big difference in points between two of you, so it looks like the game might be decided on 19 speeds. AVGEEK transition to 445. ELIAS will transition with the next cleared line, and this is a 411 transition, and ELIAS immediately blocks the well, misdrops, and this will be a GG for ELIAS. 133 lines with 413 to 40. AVGEEK takes the game. It's 1-1, and AVGEEK can't play any longer and tops out with 451, 080. GG's for a first double transition game. It's 1-1. And apropos what AVGEEK says in the chat, it's very, very difficult in PAL-DAS to be consistent on 19. Much of your play depends on your day performance, so yeah, pretty difficult to master the level 19 speeds. Yes, Elias, I think is a good point. Okay, so the players are ready. Game number 3 starts in a 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Yeah, the board awareness and you know how you prepare for transition. This is also a factor. Especially players like AVGEEK and ELIAS who can play on 19. I personally think that yeah, for players of their caliber, it's wise to have a clean board. There's more to gain from this clean board in long term than yeah, you know, like risking for the final level 18 Tetris and then topping out. So yeah, of course, if you're not that good on 19, maybe going for this final Tetris is a thing. But you know, everything depends. And hello Nitzrek, welcome in the chat. Okay, so we have AVGEEK with 95,000 and some burning, ELIAS with 38 and also some burning, and this looks like a pretty tough game for both players. Okay, ELIAS is almost done with the dig. AVGEEK needs to bring some magic, and is able to. Okay, so after scary opening lines, it looks like both players are able to regain the control over the board, and AVGEEK opens the well, gets a long bar for Tetris, 135 for AVGEEK, and a finish tower for ELIAS, and this is a pretty bad board for our Ecuadorian player. And what is ELIAS going to do with this board? Okay, some good pieces are needed to survive it now. Okay, ELIAS is doing a good job. But S's and O's, and this is not a board to survive, unfortunately, and ELIAS tops out with 110,960. Which means AVGEEK has more than enough points to take this game. AVGEEK, you are good, you lead 2-1. 172, sorry, 520, yeah. I think it was a pretty bad seed, to be honest. You both struggled with it a lot, so let's blame the seed in this game. Okay, so 3 games in, 2-1 for AVGEEK. The players are ready, so game number 4 starts in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And hello Hannah, welcome in the chat as well. So, guys, let me remind you that this is one of your last chances to increase the Macherino prize pool. We are currently at $10.01. If you want to make this prize pool bigger, feel free to click on the link in the chat and donate some US dollars or your own currency converted into US dollars. $48 for AVGEEK, $49 for ELIAS. ELIAS with a Tetris. AVGEEK needs to work on the board a little bit. Nice Tetris for AVGEEK, 86,000. ELIAS meanwhile with 142. Oh, nice burns by ELIAS. And a Tetris. 212. Now 180 for AVGEEK. But at the same line count, it's 55k lead for ELIAS, so 2.5 Tetrises. And this looks like a very decent pace by ELIAS so far. To 62 ELIAS, 226 for 262 ELIAS, 229, now 251 for AVGEEK. ELIAS increases to 286. And then another Tetris for ELIAS, another for AVGEEK. Come on, ELIAS gets 222, says Jedi Ivan in the chat. Yeah, you know, 222 is our favorite score. We still have a chance to get it. Yeah, but ELIAS needs to be careful not to fall into too many troubles with this board. And it's doing a good job. Opens the well, gets a long board for a Tetris. 364 for ELIAS, 335 for AVGEEK. For 15 for both players, but ELIAS is some lines behind, around 1 Tetris in lines. So yeah, it looks like ELIAS is 1 Tetris ahead in the real pace. And another Tetris for ELIAS, 464 and 463 for AVGEEK. But we still have some lines difference. And players, be aware, transition is coming very, very soon. So maybe it's time to prepare your boards for some level 19 action. Oh, and ELIAS can't do anything about this board right now. This board is getting higher and higher. Finally, a long board and another, but ELIAS will be a very tough situation. Going to transition, AVGEEK transitioned with 520, so ELIAS transitions with the next cleared line. And this is looking very, very bad for ELIAS, and ELIAS is topping out just after transition with 506 460. 506 460 is the total score. So AVGEEK, you are good for the game, but as always, feel free to play this game out if you want to. Yeah, so unfortunately no 2-2 in this match. It's 3-1 for AVGEEK. Yeah, ELIAS, you didn't manage to have a clean transition this time. It looks like the game didn't want you to go with a clean board. Oh, and AVGEEK tops out with a score of 551, 540. 3-1 is the score for games in. And hello Dragonheart, welcome in the chat. And hello Hepta, and hello... I don't know how to pronounce your name. And yeah, sorry for that, but I don't want to butcher your name, so... And I think you know who I'm referring to. And say the letters. I, L, B, C, and U. Okay, hello, welcome in the chat. Okay, so 4 games in, 3-1 for AVGEEK. The players are ready. So game number 5 starts in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And Elias starts with a longboard dependency. But both players now with clean boards. Oh, and AVGEEK with a little bit of a misdraw, but finds a very nice solution to get rid of this this hole in the board. And we have 97 for AVGEEK, 74 for ELIAS. But considering the line count, we are on the same pace for both players, so neck and neck, as the classic would say. AVGEEK 151, ELIAS 128 with this Tetris, ELIAS, yeah, and AVGEEK get the same line count, same scores of 150, so we're still playing neck and neck as far as, you know, the line count is concerned. So both players trying to play as efficiently as possible, which is good to see. Finally, a seat that allows the players to go for some Tetrises. We had some tough seats before in this match, so maybe it's finally time for a high-scoring game. Let's find out. So AVGEEK 294, ELIAS 255. Oh, and ELIAS now in a troublesome situation. Oh, this is now looking very dangerous. Can ELIAS do anything to survive it? This would be a magic if ELIAS can do it, but ELIAS can't, and ELIAS tops out at 72 lines with 257, 640. And AVGEEK is already good. AVGEEK increases the lead in a match. It's 4-1. AVGEEK only one game away from advancing to the final of this event. ELIAS can't afford losing any more games. ELIAS needs to win 4 games in a row in order to advance to the final. Hey guys, for those who are not familiar, AVGEEK lost in this year 2025 only to 2 players, and neither of these players is playing in this event. So can ELIAS become the 3rd person? The task is very, very difficult. ELIAS needs to win 4 games in a row. To do so, I will sweep Robin with back 5 back. But AVGEEK, Robin first needs to win against Shuichi. There's still a chance that that Shuichi can play in the final, but you haven't won yet the match. If maybe we can have a comeback from ELIAS. Let's find out. No, they will play tomorrow at 12 UTC. 12 UTC they'll play. So we have AVGEEK and ELIAS ready for game number 6, and the game starts in a 3, 2, 1. Tetris. I said back-to-back max out. I think I wanted to say back max out. Not sure what I said, but if I said back-to-back, I would like to correct myself, because AVGEEK wrote in the chat back max out. Jadavan says in the chat, I feel like Elias has gotten a lot of bad luck in this match. Might be the case. Might be the case. But let's see if Elias can turn it around. Elias can be more lucky right now. Let's find out. So, after 28 lines, 85 for AVGEEK, 139 for Elias, so more efficient start for our South American player. Now AVGEEK needs to get something to the left, and there is no piece fitting the left side. Finally, something came, but yeah, this costs AVGEEK more lines. Oh, and AVGEEK is still pretty high. Okay, finally opens the well. But where's the longbow for AVGEEK? This is a little bit of a drought, guys. And finally, a Tetris for AVGEEK. 136, 216 win rate for Elias. So some good news for our Ecuadorian player. And AVGEEK still needs to deal with some situations on the board. We have 160 for AVGEEK, 266 for Elias. So Elias was able to build around 100,000 points lead. And we are halfway through level 18 in this game, so still something can happen, and it probably will happen in this game. But this is definitely a game that's not going good for AVGEEK in terms of, score. Yes, with a pretty clean board, AVGEEK still needs to clean the board. And the longbow is a very helpful piece, the J as well. So AVGEEK should be fine. It's 184 right now, 382 for Elias. So Elias, 200,000 points ahead. This is a very big advantage for Elias. So it looks like AVGEEK will need a lot of 19 play to take this game. But of course, both players need to complete the 130 lines first. $460 for Elias, 281 for AVGEEK. We're approaching the transition in less than 20 lines, so players, please be aware of it. Another Tetris for Elias. And another one. Elias surpasses 500k, 511. It's actually 511. It's already the highest score of the match for Elias. Elias can get 2 more Tetrises going into transition. And AVGEEK transitions with 359. 559, so 200,000 points advantage for ELIAS going into transition. So this will be a very difficult challenge for AVGEEK to win this game, and it looks like those misdrops will be pretty tough, but AVGEEK is doing a good job. Oh, those pieces were not that friendly, but AVGEEK still doing a good job trying to survive the board. ELIAS already, meanwhile on level 20 with 570, AVGEEK trying to survive, but I'm afraid it's not possible. AVGEEK tops out with 376 to 20. Who put Pal Pace under my tree? 376 to 20, and ELIAS wins the game with 599 760. Oh, missed the 600k. But it's not your biggest problem right now, ELIAS. The most important is that you won the game and you are still in the match. So let's see what can happen in game number 7. One game at a time, right? As the classic says. So let's see what can happen in game number 7. Our players are ready. So the game starts in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Yeah, Chen, Tetris and PAL 19 are so satisfying things, so yeah. Everyone wants to get some Tetris and PAL 19. It's so satisfying, so yeah, try yourself, and you will know how good it is. $50,000 for AVGEEK, 50,000 for ELIAS, so similar starts to this game number 7. Oh, and a misdrop of an L, but this should be a pretty easy solve for ELIAS. Yeah, one good piece, and yeah, ELIAS opened this this well, and now comes back to business. Oh, and AVGEEK pretty high. Oh, this is looking pretty dangerous, but AVGEEK gets some pieces. Okay. Looked scary for a moment for AVGEEK, but now it should be fine. And ELIAS also with a little bit of troubles. There shouldn't be anything significant, but of course it's annoying when you want to go for a pace and you can't because you need to dig. But you know, maybe another truism, but you can only score points when you are alive. And ELIAS in this kind of situation, that yeah, a top out would mean elimination from the tournament, so ELIAS needs to stay alive, at least to give himself a chance. 194 AVGEEK, 152 for ELIAS. And ELIAS is coming back down with the board. Now AVGEEK also needs to deal with this RNG in this game. It looks like it's not the friendliest sequence. Yeah, we already had some games where the pieces were pretty challenging for the players, and this one is another challenging one. But you know, competitive Tetris is not always about, you know, getting 600k scores or something. Sometimes it is a case like here that you need to outscore your opponent with some Sorry for the word, shitty pieces. And we have 245 for AVGEEK, 255 for ELIAS. So ELIAS is slightly ahead in this game. And hello, Tony. Welcome in the chat. Oh, shitty pieces, she says. Okay, thank you for that. Oh, and AVGEEK misdrops the O. Now AVGEEK needs to bring some magic to win this game, and AVGEEK tops out. This is a very unfortunate series of misdrops for AVGEEK, and ELIAS is good. ELIAS takes this game. It's 4-3, and ELIAS is only one game away from forcing a decider in this match. Of course, AVGEEK still in a better situation. AVGEEK needs to win one game to win the match, but ELIAS keeps fighting. ELIAS keeps fighting, and this is a good sign for our viewers. ELIAS coming back, and he didn't even open a window. So, no window struts, and you're coming back to the match, a new meta. This is an interesting thing. Yeah, so let's see how it plays out. Game number 8 out of possible 9 is going to start in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And hello, James. Welcome in the chat. Oh, and ELIAS is playing a little bit greedy right now. Is it necessary to play it like that in a must-win game? Let's find out. Let's find out how it plays out for ELIAS. 98 for AVGEEK, 81 for ELIAS right now. Okay, ELIAS needs to be careful. Okay, opens the well. And another longbow would be a perfect piece here. But there is no longbow, and yeah, not so much room to burn for ELIAS, but ELIAS did a good job. I would like to see a longbow for the left, or at least a J. There is a J. 120 for ELIAS and 179 for AVGEEK. So AVGEEK taking the opportunity to run away with the score in this game. So we have 184 for AVGEEK and 147 for ELIAS. Okay, ELIAS finally back down with the board. AVGEEK now needs to deal with a little bit of a situation. And this is a chance for ELIAS. AVGEEK is in a lot of trouble right now. Oh, this was a nice move, but will it save the game? No! AVGEEK tops out! And guys, ELIAS is good. ELIAS is good for this game, which means we have a decider. ELIAS were able to win 3 games in a row on demand to force a decider, and this match will be played in full distance. Full distance will be played. ELIAS needs a second. AVGEEK, if you wanna have a second, feel free to do so as well. I think I need a second as well for myself. Some toilet straws as well. And I will be back in a second as well. And I give you new pieces when I come back for the decider, just to have everything fair. So give me a second. I will be back as well. Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry for this, but I also needed a few minutes for myself. Yeah, as we were not here for a moment, I think it will be fair to give the players a brand new seat for the decider to just, don't allow any confusion and so on. So, dear players, please use this seat 815EB0 for the decider. As soon as you are ready, we'll start the final game of this match. Yeah, 81BE50 will be the seed for the decider 815EB0. Okay, so 8 games in, 4, the one and only game, number 9, will decide who goes to the final of the PDM December 2025 tournament. The players are ready. The final game starts in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. 815EB0. The players are in. Maybe I'll try to refresh ELIAS. Maybe there's a little bit of a delay. Let's find out. No, it looks like it is. So AVGEEK starts the decider with a Tetris. ELIAS, one skimmed line and a Tetris. And yeah, let's see. Oh, and AVGEEK already with a little bit of a misdraw, but this should be fine. Okay, nice way to deal with the situation for AVGEEK. AVGEEK opens the well, gets another longboard for a Tetris. 58 for AVGEEK, 29 for ELIAS. ELIAS should be able to convert another longboard into Tetris, and there it is. Yeah, so basically a similar starts, like neck and neck situation in terms of scores. And yeah, let's see how this decider goes for both players. Okay, ELIAS tries to do something fancy here. Was now forced to skim some lines. Longboard would be a perfect piece, and there it is. Longboard for ELIAS 161, 172 meanwhile for AVGEEK. But AVGEEK also with an interesting placement of a T piece. On 91 for AVGEEK, 215 for ELIAS. 70 lines in, over 70 lines in this game. Final game of the match, the game that decides who of these players advances to the final of this month's tournament. To 45 for AVGEEK, to 72 for ELIAS, 40 lines of level 18 left. Oh, and AVGEEK now with a series of misdraws, but gets the longboard, lowers the board, so AVGEEK should be fine. But this will cost some valuable pace, and ELIAS is meanwhile with a pretty clean board. It is a 2-wide hole, but ELIAS should be able to deal with this board. Meanwhile, AVGEEK with a little bit more, of situation. Yeah, this is paldastetris at his best. There is a lot, you know, on the table. How do you say it? It's high stakes, and the nerves are becoming a factor. It's way easier to get some misdrops. So you know, this is also a skill, how to deal with those kind of situations. We have 315 for AVGEEK, 357 for ELIAS. AVGEEK will transition with the next cleared line. ELIAS has 4 lines to go, so this will be probably decided on 19. Oh, and AVGEEK can't do anything more, and AVGEEK tops out. And this was a score about 340, if I'm not mistaken. And this is a very dramatic end of this match. ELIAS definitely has won the match. I will check AVGEEK's score just in a second. But ELIAS, feel free to play this out if you can. And yeah, commiserations, AVGEEK. It looked like a match that was in your control, but at the end, Elias was able to win 4 games in a row. 4 games in a row, and Elias is the player who advances to the final of the PDM December 2025 tournament. Congratulations, Elias. You handled the pressure very, very well. You were able to come back. Maybe this was not the highest quality of the matches in terms of, scoring, but there was a lot of dramaturgy in this match for sure. And Elias will play in the final of this event. Very well done. Commiserations, AVGEEK. You finished the year with a third player beating you, but I hope you can come back stronger for the upcoming 2026 PAL-DAS Cup. And here are the match stats. I found the score of AVGEEK: 130 lines with 339, 760. This was the score. And here are match stats. Both players around 100 lines, average median losing lines, slightly higher in terms of score for Elias, but the most important statistic is that Elias won 5 games, and Elias advanced to the final of this event. Will we have Robin versus Elias, a rematch for the preliminaries of the PAL-DAS League? Or will Shuichi be able to go to the final? The answer for that will be known tomorrow, as the match between Shuichi and Robin is scheduled for 12 UTC. Maybe not a friendly time for the Americans to watch, but yeah, we had no other choice to schedule the match like this. So these are your match stats, and here is your bracket. After this dramatic decider, AVGEEK 4, Elias 5. Elias is in the final, and Robin and Shuichi will play tomorrow for the second spot in the final match of this event. So, let me also update the ELO. Yeah, and as I said, the decider win is not working for neither is for neither of the players. Elias still below 1800. Sorry. So let me show you the ELO standings. And they should update here in a second. And here you have Elias, a new world number 4, 1794, only 6 points away from surpassing 1800 for the very first time. And AVGEEK currently world number 5 ex aequo with Cobra at 1780. So, tomorrow, Robin versus Shuichi, the second semifinal of this event, and depending who wins the semifinal, we might have the final before Christmas. If Shuichi wins, unfortunately, we'll have to play it after Christmas. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. A very dramatic match today. Yeah, congrats to both players. It was not an easy, probably, match for you to play. But yeah, those kind of matches are part of this game, and yeah, we can somehow have to deal with it. So we have completed our schedule. And Hannah, will you still play PAL? If yes, I think we can rate Hannah. Hannah plays some PAL for a bit. So let's see how it goes. And guys, we will be back then tomorrow. So we are raiding Hannah for more PAL than now single player mode, so to speak. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow 12 UTC for the second semifinal, Robin versus Shuichi 12 UTC. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you will have a nice rest of your Friday and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.